Ma'am, good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, Parimala Gandhi, ma'am.
Sir, good morning. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible, ma'am. Ma'am, shall we start the session, ma'am?
Okay, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Ritika Shri?
Yes, sir. Yes. A warm good morning to one and all present over here. We welcome you all for the Department of ECE organizing 5 days faculty development program on Internet of Things for emerging technical applications. Here comes Selvan S. Sudarshan of 3rd year ECE department to give the introduction about our chief guest.
Our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. A. Parimala Gandhi, Ma'am, ASP, Department of ECE, Powai Engineering College, Namakkal. She has completed her bachelor degree of ECE in Kongu Engineering College, Perundurai, and completed her master degree of communication systems in Sona College of Technology, Salem, and completed her PhD with a specifications on innovative ICA and NMF methods for blind source separation of audio signals, images, and their performance comparisons with the existing methods. She has 19 years of teaching experience. She has started her teaching career in Maharaja Engineering College, Avinasi, as a lecturer. Within 1 year of experience, she has received the Best Teacher Award for the academic year 1999 to 2000 in Anjalayamal Mahalingam Engineering College, Kovilveni, and also worked in various colleges. She is a multi-talented person with her professional skills, which inspires us admire all of her skills. Not only in the teaching field, she has completed many other activities in developing and sharing of her knowledge. She represented 4 national conferences and 13 international conference and also presented 4 national seminars. Also, she has published 14 plus journal on various topics. A remarkable personality whose dynamic impact resonates deeply with us all. Her dedication and talents have left a impression, earning her a special place in our hearts. We are honored to have her with us today. She is a desirable for our beloved chief guest.
Thank you, Sudarshan, for the wonderful introduction. Next, the session starts with our chief guest. I welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Sir, whether my slides are sharing?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Correct. It's visible? Okay, sir.
Yes.
Good morning to one and all. So, thank you for the MP Nochimuthu Institute management as well as principal and HODs and all the faculty members for permitting me to handle this session. Thank you for that. So I'm going to handle one topic. Of course, it's not of having a more technical information. It is just application oriented. So hope you might have the previous sessions with complete technical inputs. Now we will see lightly about the applications of the IoT in particularly medical field, because whatever is the new invention, if it is applicable to the society more effectively, then only it will be accepted. So since nowadays human life is very important, and it's having more and more troubles, and even the human life is very tedious one, and it's not safe like previous years. So we have to have the support of many devices and many technologies for the support of us. Okay, so that's why we choose the main application area as medical field. So if the engineering field is now almost merging with the medical field, as well as it is completely finding applications in those fields. So first, likely we refer what and all you might have covered in previous days. So Internet of Things. So it's from the term itself, you can have the idea about it. Actually, it is applicable for anything, and it is applied for any time, and it is applied for anyone, and at any place, and with any service, and with any network. So connecting the things for the purpose of all these is actually called as Internet of Things. Simply say like this. So of course, in different ways it is accepted. So it is basically connecting all the available physical devices through the internet, and for the purpose of sharing the information or collecting the information from other devices and transferring the data to other devices. Or you can say this as, it describes the devices with sensors, and which have the processing ability, and which should have the supporting software for supporting the technologies, which are all connected through the internet. So simply speaking, all the physically available devices which are connected through the internet with the ability of the device as well as the software ability. So it is actually the collective network of the connected devices and the technology which makes the communication between devices and the cloud. So the cloud is for the purpose of storing the data for future use. And it means for every day, the devices like toothbrushes, vacuums, cars, machines, which can use sensors to collect the data and to process the data intelligently, and to respond to the requirement. So for that purpose, and it has digital intelligence to physical things connected through the internet, and it makes the world more exciting and responsive. And of course, through this IoT, we can have different solutions for any risky ones. And this is possible with the smart technology for them, the communication. And advantages of IoT. So, improve efficiency and productivity of business operations with very minimum investment. Since access any device through the use of internet, so we not go and access the device at its own location itself. We can access the use of the devices from anywhere. So through which we can improve the productivity, and we can reduce the cost required for doing any of the business. And we can make revenue streams, and of course new business models also. Even you can access any device, so we can plan accordingly. Then helping the better data analysis of soil to increase the protection, because from remote location itself we can make the analysis, so we can increase the protection also. And through which we can provide good automation and control the use of technology. And we can get data-driven results from IoT informations. And we can save time and money the process. The productivity can be increased and life will also increase. Before we the physical world around us, so it particularly the of devices, and so from remote locations we can take the required decisions for monitoring the patient health as well as the problem for the solution to the problems. So this word is actually introduced in the year 1999. Starting by working on this.
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am? Ma'am, voice is breaking, ma'am. And also slide is not in full screen, ma'am.
It's not in full, just a minute.
Okay, ma'am.
Sir, my voice is audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible, ma'am. But
Slides, what are the slides, sir?
ma'am, slide is not in full screen, ma'am, and not changing, ma'am. That also.
Okay, just sir, is it okay now, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Or not, sir?
It is visible, ma'am.
My current slide 5. Is it okay?
But voice is breaking, ma'am. You're audible, but voice is breaking now.
Break. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. The screen is visible, ma'am, but not in full screen.
Actually, I entered this early, so I got all the slide. It's breaking. Is it okay now, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Slide number 5 is displayed. Is it okay?
No, ma'am. Is it one, ma'am? One is displayed. The first page is displayed, ma'am, now. It's not changing, ma'am, slide.
Gopinath sir.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sir.
I will change it.
Sir, put in full screen mode.
Ma'am, you can continue, ma'am. Which slide I want to go, ma'am?
Okay, sir. So go with the next slide, sir. Okay. We spoke about the IoT definitions and the meaning and advantages also. Advantages over. Okay. From this, I have to start, sir. So the word IoT was framed by Mr. Kevin Ashton. Actually, that was introduced in the year 1999, but we started using IoT devices in the year 1990 itself. Almost before 9 years itself, we started working on IoT devices. The next slide. And the first IoT device was introduced in the year 1990. As I told, before 9 years, before framing that word itself, without knowing the word, name of that device and technology, we started using IoT devices. Actually, the first IoT device was a toaster, which is made by John Romkey. And it was through the internet, he connected his toaster and he used it. Next, sir. And the second IoT device was jointly introduced by a group of students from the Carnegie Mellon University. He developed a Coca-Cola vending machine, and means the group of people created Coca-Cola vending machine, and they can even identify which column of the vending machine is having the chilled Coke. That much facility was available with that device in that year itself. So almost immediately, means in 1990 itself, this second device was also invented. Next one, sir. And though it was invented in the year 1990 itself, almost it took 15 to 16 years to get into the market and to make every people to know about the new technology. So only in the year, from the year 2008 onwards, it started developing, and everybody were started speaking about IoT. Next. And to become an IoT device, a normal device to become an IoT device, just it has to have two facilities. One, a proper internet connection should be there, and the other one is it should be having enough sensor and technology softwares which provides the ability to communicate with the network. So only these two are required. So net facility, net connection, and the supporting software along with the sensors. That is it. Next one. Of course, so many devices, IoT devices are available nowadays commercially. The first one is Google Home Voice Controller. So it is an IoT device where only through the voice commands we can do some controlling functions at our home, remote controlling. Of course, these are all commercially available devices. It is coming around some $130 or $150. Okay. Next is Amazon Dash button. So this particularly for making their Amazon shopping app familiar, they provided this facility. Just it is a on-off means push button switch type, and if we press that button, we will be getting the connection with the Amazon shopping app. And next is Amazon Echo plus voice controller. So in this, we can do multiple functions, like we can ask questions, and we can set timers. We can fix alarms and phone calls, and we can play songs, manage home instruments, and we can have the weather reports. Everything is possible. Next, sir. Next slide, please. And August doorbell cam. See, in this, if of course it is a camera attached doorbell, so through that we can identify the person who is standing at the door, and we can even speak with them also. We can give instructions to them also. That is possible. Even when we sit inside the house, or if we are away from our house also, it is possible. And Vimo light switch. It is particularly for controlling our light arrangements of our home. And through the voice and by using our cell phone, we can do the changes. And nowadays it has the features like a Wi-Fi reset, Wi-Fi indicator, and push button on off push button switches. So all these are some of the features added with these things. Next, sir. And as we mentioned, many devices, through the communication devices, this IoT is possible. That is like Bluetooth and Zigbee, Wi-Fi, Z-Wave, LoRa WAN, and cellular network, and NFC. All these are providing the IoT facility. Okay, next, sir. And how this IoT is functioning. Actually, each and every device should be fixed with RFID just for identification purpose. And sensors will also be there. This for collecting the data, and for even interchanging the data for the purpose. And smart technology should also be available along with that sensor and the device, and which provides the capability to connect with the network as well as to make the sensor and the device at proper functioning condition. And even nowadays it is added with nanotechnology also to make the device size as smaller, and even though it is smaller, it will be completely with the ability to connect and interact with the connected other connected devices and world. So for that purpose, these are all available. Next slide, sir. Then major application areas. We are of course anyway talking about, we are going to talk about only medical field application, but it finds many applications like smart manufacturing, and it is providing the preventive as well as predictive maintenance, and smart power grids. All these are possible. And if we consider the transportation monitoring, so that is also provided by the IoT devices. So we can monitor the vehicle performance, and we can make clear routes, and tracking of the shipments, our products which are delivered. So that is also possible. Tracking is also possible. And in case of healthcare, means particularly the medical field, suppose if the patient is affected by any chronic diseases, then he can completely be monitored continuously. And disease prevention and control is also possible. And we can do remote monitoring. A person who is in need of continuous monitoring can be done with remote monitoring. Next slide. And some other notable applications are building and home automation, and in the manufacturing field it is useful, and medical and healthcare systems, and in media also it is used. Then environmental monitoring, then infrastructure management, energy management, effective utilization of energy, then transportation means vehicle monitoring. Then through this we can improve our life quality also. That is particularly for elderly people who need some others care. Next slide, please. Technological challenges of IoT. So what are all the difficulties we are going to face if we go with IoT? That is scalability. Means if we want to reduce the size of the device or increase the size of the device, then it is not done easily. Then technological standardization is also a difficult one. Then interoperability means if a device is connected as IoT device, then for in-between operation means a specific operation is not possible. Only it is defined operation is possible with the device. Then new discovery and software complexity and data volumes and interpretation, because it requires more and more huge amount of data. So that is one more difficulty. Then since we are using continuously many number of devices, each and every device requires separately the power supply. So that is a huge issue. Then interaction and short range communications, then wireless communication, then fault tolerance also. Suppose if any device is going in fault condition, then we cannot replace it immediately, and without knowing the conditions, if we utilize the IoT devices, then it will be resulting in different way. So that is one more difficulty. Next slide, sir. Okay. So now we will see some of the widely used medical field applications of this IoT devices. So the first and foremost one is implantable glucose monitoring system. This is not the saline water monitoring. In the patient body, we will be checking the glucose level, particularly if the diabetic patient is available, then we can easily monitor his sugar level. For that purpose, this implantable glucose monitoring system is there. So we will be just attaching this device just below our skin, so that it will be in contact with the blood continuously, and so that it will monitor the glucose levels of the blood. So the sensors in this device will send information to the patient's mobile particularly, so that he will come to know at which time he is getting the glucose level lower, and at which time he has to take food to equalize that, and at which time he has to approach the physician. And of course, he can maintain a record, so that at regular intervals, if his energy level is going down, then he can have a data also. So that is also possible by using this glucose monitoring system. So next slide. So this is only that, which is even it is available like a wearable device also. And If we need a permanent one, then we can insert that under our skin, so that it is possible for monitor the glucose level. Next, sir. Then activity trackers during cancer treatment. So if a patient is under cancer treatment, then we have to continuously monitor and track their conditions. So for that, if the cancer treatment is going, then if we have to maintain, we can check his weight and age, and based on that we can provide the facilities, and their lifestyle and fitness levels should also be monitored. And this activity trackers track a patient's movements and tiredness levels and appetite, everything it will be monitoring, so that if the patient is with a complete fatigue level, means high fatigue level, then we can take him for immediate treatment. So that is possible with the use of these tracking systems. So the data collected from this tracker will be supporting for the treatment, whereas if the patient is going for treatment, he need not again go for the medical testing and all. He need not go for any of the health checkup, because each and every data of his health is available in the tracker itself, so that he can immediately can be taken for treatment, and in emergency also it will be useful. Next, sir. So there's activity trackers. So it is also like many of the devices, IoT devices, particularly used for the medical support, will be of this wearable devices. So in that, the sensors are available, and they will be keeping track of all the levels of the one's medical data. Next slide, sir. Heart monitoring with reporting. So like glucose monitoring, this the device used for particularly keeping track of one patient's, particularly heart patient's ECG conditions, and they can wear the device, and that device will be monitoring the heartbeat rate, and whether the blood pressure level is in normal condition or not. All those details will be provided. Just in a monitor, all these details will be displayed. So this healthcare providers can easily access to this report of this patient's health monitor, means heart monitor, and they can go with the immediate treatment if it is required. So again, it is also available like a wearable device, and so that they can, if they experience any arrhythmias and palpitations or strokes, or if their pressure is going low, immediately they can come to know about their conditions, and even we can arrange for ambulance facilities also. So all these are possible with this heart monitoring, as well as that in the monitor everything will be displayed. So this same can be communicated to the required people, so that immediate arrangements can be done. Next slide, sir. Actually, I have included YouTube videos for this, but time won't be enough. Okay, sir. Next slide, sir. Medical alert systems. So this provides, of course, this is also like tracking only. So this again as a wearable device, so that it will be just looking like a jewelry only. and it provides the alertness for the required person. Suppose if any family member is to be intimated, or if any friend or the physician is to be intimated, then it will be done by this alert systems. So just through the wearable devices in which sensors are connected, the patient health level will be checked, and they will be getting the data. Those sensors will be getting the data, and that data will be communicated through this network, so that easily the person who needs to know the patient's health will be getting the data, and they will be getting into immediate action. Normally, the people who are of bedridden, so for this type of people maintenance, this type of alert systems will be very much useful. Next slide, sir. So this medical alert system. Sometimes it will be connected with buzzer so that it create alertness, or sometimes the data will be transmitted to the required person. Next slide, sir. Ingestible sensors. So sometimes the sensors may be swallowed just like pills, tablets, so that completely that sensors will be inside our body, and it monitors the patient's conditions, and from that the information will be taken, and based on the available information, the required action will be taken. Like once the sensors are ingested, and they relay information to the patient's mobile app, and which help to follow the proper dosage. Suppose if the blood sugar level is reduced, or if one patient is he has to take his pills, then that type of alertness will be provided by this system itself. So once if the threshold level is crossed, immediately the patient will be getting the alertness, so that he will be taking pills or getting the support from others, or anything is possible. So most of the cases, this the persons will not take the medicines at the proper time. So if this type of alertness is provided through the sensors, then they will immediately take the pills, or they will maintain the timings and all. That is possible by the use of these type of sensors. Okay, next one, sir. For this also, on YouTube video is there, but I'm not displaying. Just go through this link, and you can have it at later time. Next slide. Medication dispensers. So in this also, if the person is not able to get its pills or get its medicines, then through these dispensers it is possible to have them. So that these are all implanted in a patient itself, themselves, and they can dispense the medicines, and they can take the dosage at the proper time. Again, it will provide the notification at what time they have to take the medicines, and if required, doctors will also be informed if the dosage is missed, or if the routine is changed. So all these information can be communicated to doctors also. So that is the use of this IoT device. Next, sir. So medication dispensers. Next, sir. Wireless sensors. So these sensors will be available in used in labs, as well as in hospital refrigerators, particularly in which the blood samples and the medicines which should be kept at the cool place, and some biomedical materials which need to be kept under chill condition. All these can be monitored by using this wireless sensors. We will be fixing these sensors at some part of the refrigerators or in some devices which are to be monitored continuously. Then the temperature level as well as the medicine conditions will also be monitored by using these sensors. So that if the medicine is not in proper condition, if that is of not properly supportive, and if the temperature level of the refrigerator in which the medicines are kept is going low, then we can take action immediately to rectify them. If the medicine level condition is not proper, we can avoid the use of those medicines also. So to keep the medicines or blood samples or required biomedical materials safely, we are going with the wireless sensor support. Next slide, sir. So this automated temperature monitoring for medical refrigerators. So in this, the temperature level or freezer temperature level will be monitored. Next one, sir. See, in this picture, it is shown that a sensor is attached to indicate whether the fridge door is kept opened or it is closed. So that information will be anyway transmitted or intimated. Even nowadays in normal refrigerators itself, if we keep our refrigerator door open for a certain time, then immediately it will make sound. So some buzzers type of sound will be there. So for that purpose, these sensors are attached with the refrigerator door. Because the medicines which are kept inside the freezers should continuously be under chill condition. So in that cases, if we keep the door open, then the condition of the medicine may spoil. That's why this type of arrangement is available. Next slide, sir. Trackable inhalers. So this type of inhalers can also be called as smart inhalers. So these will be telling the patients what they are doing or experiencing to cause asthma attacks, and by transmitting information to their smartphones and tablets. So this is possible by using this trackable inhalers. And all these informations will be shared to the patients or the attenders of patients or to the physicians. All these are possible. Of course, this inhalers will indicate the time of the medication also. At what time they have to take consume the medicines will also be intimated by this inhalers, particularly for this asthma people. Next slide, sir. So there is only the trackable inhalers. So it has the information display also. So it shows at what time they have to take medicines and what is the condition of their breathing levels, and all those will be available in the display itself. Next one, sir. That is the same thing is only called as smart inhaler, and it can be connected through the mobile app or Bluetooth at any instant. So it will keep the record of time and date of the medicine used or that inhaler used, and at which location the patient started using that inhaler. Everything will be recorded so that we can have the idea of the next usage time as well as the patient's condition. Next slide, sir. wearables to fight depression. Even if a depression patient is available, at which conditions or on which devices, so that an alert system will be activated, so that he will be taken for counseling, or he will be given with any pills, or he will be taken for different routines. All these are possible by using this wearable depression fighters. So of course, in the Apple company has introduced the Apple Watch. In that, it continuously touches the person's skin. From that, it will be getting the informations like heartbeat and the blood pressure level. If anyone is in the complete anxiety, then of course his blood pressure level will be increased. So these are all some of the indications for knowing the patient's conditions. So through that only we are able to get the person's depression level. Next slide, sir. So just it is a supportive picture. It's not the depression sensor. Next slide, sir. So as I mentioned, it's also like wearable devices. Particularly in wristwatch, all these health levels of a patient is indicated, like blood pressure, heartbeat, even SpO2, means oxygen levels. All those are displayed in the wristwatch monitor itself. So that means a smartwatch. So that we can keep track of all the means these particular patients' conditions, and the required actions can be taken for them according to the data available with it. Next, sir. Connected contact lenses. Of course, these are all available on the eyes only, but they will be keeping track of the glucose levels of a diabetic patient. So that if we remove that lens, and we can take the data of that patient, and again we can fit that for complete vision. Next, sir. Even with the glucose level and all, the adjustment of the lens is possible. So that normally for a diabetic patient, based on the glucose level or sugar level, their vision will get changed automatically. So for based on the glucose level, this lens will be adjusted, so that he can have his clear vision through these type of lenses. Next slide. Location services. So suppose if a patient is using wheelchair, or if he needs defibrillators and nebulizers and pumps, so all these devices which are required for a patient treatment will be kept somewhere. If those equipments are misplaced, to identify the location of these devices, we can use IoT technology, so that all these devices will be tracked continuously, so that the location of these devices can be easily identified, and immediately we can access them. Next slide, sir. Robotic surgery. So of course, in two different ways it is approached. Robotic surgery means the robots will be used for doing the surgical operations and all. And whereas nowadays many means nano robots are available. They are taken inside or sent inside the patient's body, and they will reach the particular location of that body at which the changes are to be done or the operation is to be carried, then through the information or instructions from the outside, they will be acting and they will do the complete operation. So that the main advantages of this type of robotic surgery is we cannot we can do all these operations very easily and accurately, and even the patient body will not be disturbed, or the other parts of the body will not get disturbed, so that he can come back to the normal conditions immediately. Healing of the patient body is very faster and quicker, and it reduces the invasive process, so that normally the patient problem will be different and we have to access the part of his body in some other way, so that we have to do some hurting and all. So that can be avoided if we go with this type of robotic surgery. Next slide, sir. This the surgery which is done by this robots. Next one. So remote monitoring, of course, all the person's health conditions can be remotely monitored. Next slide. There's the display in which all the informations are available. Next one. It's explanation only. Remote patient monitoring. Next one. Glucose monitoring. Already we spoke about that. Next one. So the same. It is like a patch. It will be attached with our body, and it will be kept inserted so that we can monitor the glucose level of that person. Next one, sir. Heart rate monitoring. Just it gives the heartbeat rate only. Next one. Next slide, sir. Hand hygiene monitoring. This is the different application, of course. Nowadays, both patients as well as the doctors who are providing the health support, both of them are not ensuring whether their hands are very neat or not, hygiene or not. So that is monitored, and that is possible with the use of these IoT devices. We can monitor the hands hygienic conditions, and based on that, if sanitization is required, or if we directly use our hands barely, that is also done by using these devices. Next slide, sir. Next slide. Next is depression and mood monitoring. As I already mentioned, depression condition of a person is easily monitored, and even the mood change is also declared by the device. Mood awareness. Suppose if one is having complete anger or anxiety, then at the time we can avoid them to approach, and we can, based on their monitor display, we can come to know the conditions of those patients, and we can approach them accordingly. Next one, sir. Just different types of patients. One is smooth and another one is taking rest and getting up. So all these will be indicated. Next one. Parkinson's disease monitoring. This is a very important one, because the patients will not be having ability to do their work by themselves. So in such cases, this type of monitoring will be very much supportive, and they will give patients for freedom to go anywhere, but along with the device completely there. So they can roam around the places. They need not sit at one place, and they need not approach hospitals. Completely, the person will be free from this hospital environment, and at his own place itself, he can take rest and he can do his own works, but continuously he will be under monitoring. So that is possible by the use of IoT devices. Next one. Next. So these are all possible wearable devices. So completely one person can, instead of ornaments, nowadays we have to wear different wearable devices like ornaments, so that our health will be continuously monitored and under the control. Next slide. At each point of our body, we can keep all these sensors for monitoring EEG, then implanted cochlear, ECG, blood oxygen level, glucose level, everything can be monitored. Even pressure sensor, lactic acid conditions, then motion sensors, everything is possible. So hereafter, the human being will not have only 5 senses. He will be having many senses, multiple senses, because of all the sensors. Next slide. Telemedicine is also possible. Just with the patient's conditions, if he needs the medicines immediately, or he, based on his body conditions, if he needs the advice from physicians, it is also possible through these things. Next one. So it's just like a scanner, a person is monitored with the complete details of his health. Next one. Benefits of IoT, particularly in the healthcare. So almost we covered that also. Actually, the complete details of a patient will be known by the required persons, either the attender of that patient or the doctor who is taking care of the patient will be knowing the complete details, and the immediate medical support can be provided even without going with the testing and all, because all the data are readily available. So it reduces the time, and it reduces the movement of the patient also. We need not go and search for all the facilities. Facilities will completely be available with us. We can utilize them. Next slide, sir. Next one. Of course, the huge amount of data, complete data about that patient will be available, and it is continuously be recorded. So through this recorded information, we can have all these details, so that the time requirement will be reduced. Next one. Drawbacks. Of course, in science, everywhere some drawbacks will also be there. Of course, privacy will be affected, and since a huge amount of data is used, accuracy is the next problem, and cost is also the main one, because many devices are to be accessed, which will be increasing the cost requirement, amount requirement. So these are all some of the drawbacks. Next slide, sir. That's all. Thank you. If you have any queries, you can ask. If nothing else,
Ma'am, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Ritika?
Shall I leave, sir?
Of course, ma'am. Of course, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for one and all for patient listening. Though some technological problems happened. You all were waiting. Thank you so much. Thank you for everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.